So we have brought out our crystal ball and we are going to be bringing you more emerging cake trends for 2021, brought to you by Bakersville, and this time by Neha. Hi Neha Divekar.
Hi Rose.
And for our cake trend, we're going up in the world, aren't we?
Absolutely.
What will we be doing?
So today we will be focusing more on flavors, and we are going to make a Madeline's Tower, which is quite unique. As of now, nobody is doing it, and it's very simple to make and very flavorful too.
And very effective as well. I always think things that are tall, towers of any sort, they have that impact, don't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. We all love tall cakes, right? But this particular tower, it doesn't have any frosting, you know. Ekdam easy hai banane mein, and it's like absolutely very easy. Even newcomers, like new bakers, they can make it, and obviously the experts can take it to a notch higher, you know.
That's what we love. We love it when beginners can make something look impressive. So how are we going to start? So
we will start with baking the Madeleines in 2 different flavors. Okay. So today I'm going to use the premix from Bakersville. I have one which is in the chocolate flavor, that is the American brownie flavor. I have paired that flavor with raspberry filling, fruit filling.
Ooh.
Yes. And the second and the second one is the vanilla fruit premix, which I have paired with apricot fruit filling. So these are the 2 fillings. Yeah. So first we'll start with making the vanilla one. So I have taken this premix in a bowl, and it needs only 2 things to be added. Okay, it just needs oil and it just needs water. Yes, the recipe is written, the proportions are written on the pack itself. It's very easy to follow. So we're just adding water to this. And the oil. And the apricot filling.
Oh, all in together?
Yes, all in together. It's very easy, Rose. Just mix it together.
But I love the fact that you're taking something that's a lovely treat that people can eat individually, but you're making it into a special feature. So this is perfect for the center of a table, the center of a party.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can also use this as a wedding cake, a unique wedding cake idea, or any festivities, you know, be it Christmas, you decor it like Christmas, be it Diwali, you decor it like, you know, traditional way, or you make traditional flavor.
I love the fact that people can just take their own portion. There's no mess. It's nice and simple and straightforward.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is just fill this in the piping bag.
So no mixer, no equipment, just a bowl and a spatula is enough?
Absolutely, absolutely. Since our mold is very tiny, you see the cavities are pretty tiny, you know, it will be a hassle if we try to drop it with the spatula, you know. So this is a very easy thing to do.
I think one of the things that we're seeing a lot of today is how easy some things can be. With the right preparation or premix, it's so easy to make something homemade. You know what's gone into it. It's absolutely beautiful to look at. And yet, look, you've nearly finished making them. The oven's going to do the rest of the work for you there.
Yes, yes. So now the very one important tip is you need to tap this mold, you know, because it's a silicone. It doesn't quite go in each crevices, you know. So just like 2 ends. So the second one is a brownie. Brownie में भी वही करना है, water and butter. आप तेल चाहे तेल भी यूज कर सकते हो, और you can use butter also, जो आपको ठीक लगे. Brownie, I'm adding the raspberry fruit filling. Since raspberry and brownie, the combination goes well with the dark chocolate.
Is that like jam? Is it a jam?
Sort of, but it's not as sweet. It's more of fruit. It's more of citrus flavor.
See, I know we're watching you on telly here, but the flavours, if only we could taste it. If you had taste vision, those flavours are going to be amazing. The apricot and the fruit, gorgeous.
Absolutely. See, yeah, there are people who would like to eat chocolate as well and the vanilla also. So you can offer both things at the same time.
Yeah, I can't think who those people could be. Oh, chocolate going in.
आप किसी भी शेप में बना सकते हो. It's not कि सिर्फ मैडलिन के शेप में ही बनाना है. But make sure कि आप छोटे साइज का बनाएं, not very big, so that वो वजन उसका ले, वो गिरे नहीं when you're doing it, when you're sticking it. Now we'll bake this at 170 degrees for just 10 minutes. Right? Because they are very small, you don't want to overbake them. They have to be nice, tasty, and not like overbaked and dry. So just 10 minutes, सिर्फ 10 minute bake करना है 170 degrees पे. So we use the vanilla one. This is the vanilla fruit premix, and the recipe, the quantities are written over here. I just took 100 grams right now because I have already baked the Madeleine's. So 100 grams of the premix requires around 35 grams of water and 50 grams of oil. And this is the apricot fruit filling, which I've used in the vanilla recipe. और हमने अमेरिकन ब्राउनी प्रीमिक्स यूज किया है चॉकलेट के लिए. इसमें भी रेसिपी लिखा हुआ है, प्रपोर्शन लिखा हुआ है. 100 grams for 1 kg of the entire bag. 1 किलो बैग के लिए आपको अराउंड 290 grams बटर लगता है एंड 350 grams वाटर लगता है. सो अगर आप कम यूज कर रहे हैं तो देन अकॉर्डिंगली आपको प्रपोर्शन चेंज करना पड़ेगा. और उसके साथ मैंने रास्पबेरी पेस्ट्री फिलिंग यूज किया है. I am going to be making dry caramel now because caramel is the thing with which we are going to stick on the cone. So this is a styrofoam cone. I have cling wrapped it first and then I'm going to cover it with foil completely. Yeah. So for the dry caramel, you don't need to add any water to it. सिर्फ शक्कर यूज करेंगे, उसमें पानी नहीं डालना है. First we'll warm up the vessel and then we will start adding sugar to it. Little sugar at a time. थोड़ा थोड़ा डालेंगे sugar.
Look at that.
Or sugar, the first sugar that we put, little bit of sugar that has melted. So I'm going to put some more. अगर हम सब शुगर एक साथ डालेंगे तो बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लगता है कैरेमल बनने के लिए. Can you see the nice golden color?
Gorgeous.
Yes. So it's done. What now I'm going to do is I'm not going to put off the flame. I'm going to put it at the minimum thing. It has to stay warm because the moment I turn off the flame, it will start hardening. Then it will be very difficult to apply to your madeleines to stick. Okay, so we will start sticking the madeleines. Now, since we have two colors in madeleines, one is the vanilla one and the other is the chocolate one, right? So we're going to alternate it. And we are going to start from the top. ऊपर से शुरू करेंगे. Okay. So when one row happens, I'll show you how to go about the second row. Now if you see the madeleines has a shell-like design. Okay, so that design has to come outside. So we will be sticking the inside part. Design बाहरी दिखना चाहिए so that वो अच्छा दिखे. So we are done with the first row. Okay, if you see, two whites have come together, but not a problem. We will follow the pattern accordingly. So now the next row, when we do, what we are going to do is, the chocolate one, they will go alternate like this. Okay, we won't put it like exactly below the chocolate. We will put it in between so that the gaps are covered. And now starting with the second row, we have to put caramel till a little top, you know, so that the entire thing sticks. The base has to stick to the cone and the upper part has to stick to the previous Madeline.
So are we going to end up with like a swirly pattern? They're going to end up,
yes,
oh,
yes,
pretty. But I guess you could do whatever you like to do, can't you? That's
yes,
what
you
the
can.
design process is.
Yes, you can. But the thing is, when you put straight, there will be too many gaps that you can see, you know. So if we do this alternating thing, you don't see the gaps. Can you see? We're going alternate. Yeah.
Already looking beautiful.
Yes.
I love the idea that you can do this sort of central feature, because this is going to go in the middle of the table, isn't it? You can do it as big as you like. You can do it with different things. You can do it with, for instance, macarons. A macaron tower is so popular. But I don't think people would know where to start. And this is so simple and yet so popular. Just the height of it makes your table look smart, looks very stylish.
True, true. Okay, now if you see, the white ones are going like in this direction, right? So we will make sure that it continues, the pattern continues, you know, it gives like a flowing pattern.
I guess the lovely thing about this is that even if you don't want a massive wedding cake, and let's face it, people are having smaller gatherings now, aren't they? They're having smaller parties. This is a way to make your table look impressive, but without having too much cake. There's quite a nice sort of proportion to this, isn't there? How pretty does that look? I have to say, it looks very classy.
It does. And the best part is, you know, from baking to assembling, it takes like hardly 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And your, you know, a marvelous piece is ready. So we're done with the tower, assembling the tower. We will do some nice deco now. Yeah.
Great.
So again, for this deco that we are doing out of spun sugar. No fancy stuff, nothing, just pure sugar and water and a couple of forks. That's it.
Yeah, you say no fancy stuff. It sounds fancy. It might not be fancy to do, but it sounds very fancy. Spun sugar.
Yeah, but there are no fancy equipments needed, you know. घर में जो है वो use कर सकते हैं and बना सकते हैं. सिर्फ शक्कर लगेगा, पानी लगेगा और 2 forks लगेगा. That's it.
That's what we want.
Yep. So for the deco, what we're going to need is just sugar, water, 2 forks, and I'm going to have keep 2 rolling pins so that I get nice strands, you know, just to give it a height so that the sugar strands don't stick to the table. Yeah. Now, this sugar syrup has some proportion. This is not random. So it has 125 grams of sugar and 15 grams of water. This is not dry caramel. ये dry caramel नहीं है. Sugar syrup बनाना पड़ेगा. Light caramel color का.
So 125 grams of caster sugar.
And 15 grams of water.
15 grams of water.
Yes.
I'm going to do this in a minute. It's in my head now. I'm going to go and do it.
Now this caramel, we don't want a very dark color, okay? Because we want the spun sugar to look like a little towards whitish tinge. No, it won't be white because it's going to be a caramel, but light color. We don't want it to become too dark like the earlier caramel.
For too dark, do we read burnt?
Yes, because I mean, our cakes are like chocolate and this thing. So we want that to stand out, right? If it's too dark, it will get merged with the chocolate ones. Okay, so if you all can see the color, it's not very dark, yet it's light caramel color. So this is where I'm going to stop. This has to cool a little bit. Little is like when I pick up the fork, it should start leaving strands, you know. Right now it's too hot. It will take like this 2 to 3 minutes. Immediately it cools off. तो ये कैरेमल को बहुत डार्क तक नहीं पकाना है, उनको थोड़ा लाइट कलर ही रखना है. और इसको थोड़ा ठंडा होने देंगे हम लोग. अभी बहुत गर्म है. जब ठंडा होगा तो वो स्ट्रैंड्स छोड़ेगा. अभी नहीं छोड़ रहा है वो. I'm going to take 2 forks so that, you know, I get a nice spun this thing. You can also use 1 fork and do it, but 2 forks gives, like, you know, a lot of strands at the same time. Okay. Just dip your caramel like this and.
Oh, how exciting is that? I am ridiculously excited about something so. What fun is that? It's like creating a Jackson Pollock out of sugar. Modern art.
Can you see it?
We can just, yes, we can. It looks like a spider's web. It looks so delicate.
Yes, it is. So you don't need to clump it like a lot, just a little.
Look at that. How can you not make something look amazing with a little bit of spun sugar on it? It's incredible. Oh, look. Pretty. Right, people all over India now are getting their forks out of their cutlery drawer. Including, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
It looks so delicate, but it's holding really well. It doesn't take long at all to set, does it?
No, no, it sets immediately.
Very.
The moment the caramel cools, it sets.
Look at that. What a centerpiece.
And just in case if you break it, you know, it doesn't come out the entire thing, it's okay. You can put in parts also. Absolutely. No problem at all.
And for those people who are really bad at design and really bad at decorating, this is just a brilliant way to lift your dessert table. Wow. So in terms of trends for next year, you can't go better than a wonderful decorative centerpiece, tall, but just a rip apart. Is there a word for rip apart? Something that you can literally put in the center of the table and be enjoyed by everybody at a function.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Look at that.
Okay, now small pieces that we have on the sides, I'm going to use it on the top, you know, because we have the top looking, you know, the foil is being seen from the top.
There's something really nice tasting about thin sugar as well, that it's palatable. It's kind of almost heading towards that candy floss, isn't it?
Yes. So these are the maple leaves, wafer paper ones. The ready ones, you don't have to do anything. Just take it out from the bottle and use it. I have just lined it a little with the golden paint just to make it look classy because it's like a wedding thing. Okay. So what you do is just apply some little water behind so that we can, you know, shape it a little because they're too flat right now, just to make the natural move, you know. Yeah.
Very autumnal colours. This is the bit where I'd be hiding my mistakes, Neha.
And one more thing, we have not used any colors also in this, okay? Food coloring. So people who have allergies or, they can also go for it. So it's completely natural. Everything is naturally flavored too.
Pretty as a picture. We are definitely thinking emerging cake trends for 2021. They've got to include towers, rip apart things. These Madeleines, these rip apart Madeleines, absolutely beautiful, so decorative and so easy. Thank you, Bakersville. And thank you, Neha. Neha, what a beautiful job.
Thank you so much. I